step right for traffic when exiting.
Hey people, it is Sunday, November 19th. The time is 1:28 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 5 degrees Celsius. And I am standing in the same place I did yesterday, pretty much, where I started a live stream. But I came here to record the video I'm about to record now. But being the dummy that I am, I forgot to check that there was an SD card in my camera, and I didn't bring my second camera or another SD card. So I just did a live stream and I came back today to make that video. So this is Dundas Street, and it bends to the north here and goes up to Dundas Bus Station. But for this one, I'm going to be going south down Roncesvalles. And then when I get to Roncesvalles and Queen, I'm going to go left and we're going to go for a walk through Parkdale. So a bit of a 2-for-1 today. Roncesvalles Avenue starts right here. As little sense as that makes, that is actually Dundas Street on the other side of the intersection. And they're not running the 504 King streetcar here. Looks like it's just a bus. Speaking of which, that was quite the ordeal just to get on that Dundas streetcar and ride it a few stops south. I definitely would have been better off walking. There was, I guess you could say, a disorderly passenger on the streetcar that held it up, and they had to tell everyone to get off and wait for the next streetcar. Apparently, she had created a bit of a biohazard in the back of the streetcar and was kind of screaming. It didn't sound like a very pleasant scene at all. I felt kind of bad for the TTC employees and for her, of course. So this is Roncesvalles. Often referred to as Roncy, and some don't pronounce the last S, they just say Roncesvalles. If you're a local, let me know which pronunciation you prefer down in the comments. I'd be curious to hear how you call this neighborhood. Oh, here comes a 504 King streetcar. I don't think they're running east past Cherry Street yet. So the 504 buses are probably the ones that go the whole length of the route. And the streetcars would probably just go as far as the Distillery Loop. There goes the 506 Carlton streetcar to the High Park Loop, where it'll terminate. I've been to that place Loons before. And this is Howard Park Avenue. Speaking of which, this neighborhood was originally known as Howard Park. There's the Review Cinema across the street, one of the oldest still operating movie theaters in Toronto. It closed down briefly in the mid-2000s, but it reopened in 2007. Plays mostly independent and international films and that sort of thing. I think it originally opened in 1912. And you'll notice most of the retail and restaurants are actually on the east side of the street, which is on my left. Ding a Wing. She Said Boom, new and used CDs and books. So this area is known for being at the heart of Toronto's Polish community. And at the end of summer, they have a big Polish festival down here. That coincides on the same weekend as the Ukrainian festival up on Bloor Street West. I don't think I covered this festival this year.
Gift shop of some sort?
Yeah. Oh, is it? See, I've never been to one of those.
No.
And a look back north. There's the Classical Music Conservatory. It is mostly a low-density, low-rise neighborhood. And just off to the west there is High Park. You can see we're definitely making that fall to winter transition. People are starting to dress warmer. Although it's 5 degrees, it's still kind of a pleasant day to go for a walk.
Oh, Cora. Poor Cora.
I think that last came through here doing a live stream during the summer. There's a lot of really neat non-chain stores in this neighborhood. It's kind of thriving in that regard. The Dizzy Gastro Sports Pub. And this place is quite popular, Bark Smokehouse. I don't know if it's this one that has done away with tipping. I think that's something more restaurants need to adopt. Don't know why I randomly chose to peek into a restaurant full of dolls. Sushi on Roncy. lot of small cafes here. On the left is one of the iconic buildings in Roncesvalles, St. Vincent de Paul. There's a church in Greektown, I think called Holy Name, that kind of gives off similar vibes. I guess it's Sunday, so there would be Mass at 11 a.m., but it is 1:39. Where's the day gone? It feels like I just woke up. And towards the south end of Roncesvalles, the neighborhood's going to start to blend in with Parkdale.
Come on, dudes.
A friendly tie.
The last place? So you might. Hey, don't take too long. So.
It is such a great neighborhood, but you get the feeling it's not really a destination neighborhood. There's an iconic mural right behind me here. Providing this Toyota doesn't run me over, we'll take a look at it. There's one of the city's Carnegie libraries. And that bears a strong resemblance to the Carnegie libraries in the Beaches and Witchwood Barns, or near Witchwood Barns, up at St. Clair and Bathurst area. They've all had various renovations since then. I also went by a Carnegie Library in Weston a few weeks back. I went from feeling underdressed to overdressed. The wind has calmed down and the sun's come out.
No, acre is only $25 one month.
Someone reminiscing about the good old days. You get a newspaper delivered to you for 25 bucks for a month. Got another mural to check out.
Thank you.
And here's an old theater here on the left that's been converted into a variety store. And this type of overhang isn't really something you see on new buildings.
How many times?
I think the building codes and bylaws get in the way. How do stop signs work, Mr. Audi driver? I have no idea. Oh, it was not a Mr. driving. If I wasn't crossing, she wouldn't even have stopped.
Yes, yeah.
So here's where the area starts to transition into Parkdale. That's where I'll be turning left along Queen Street, and we'll be walking over to Dufferin. It's really such an excellent neighborhood to take a stroll in or through. For the longest time, those streetcars weren't running as they were doing a lot of work at the intersection up ahead here. The 505 Dundas and the 504 were not operational in the West End. So it's good to see service has at least partially been restored. There's still work going on the East End, hampering the 504. And the Queen Street car still doesn't run all the way to Long Branch yet. The St. Clair streetcar is down. I can't recall a time when all the streetcar lines were running properly without any diversions. But this is Queen Street coming up. Well, the Queen's Way on the right. And if you were to go straight through the intersection, you'd be on King Street. It's the end of King Street West that turns to the left. And turning left here will be Queen Street West. And just off in the distance is St. Joseph's Hospital. Can't really see it from here. That was built in 1921 on the former site of an orphanage. All right, there's 504 King Street car that's only going as far as Church.
If there's that big of a collapse, then no one's really fully gonna see it.
You can see Lake Ontario off in the distance. And we are now properly in Parkdale. So again, to the south is King Street West. This becomes the Queensway. It runs all the way over into Mississauga on the right. And this is Queen Street West through Parkdale. This neighborhood definitely has a very different look and feel to it. It's a bit rougher, a bit grittier. It's also got more retail on both sides of the street. Over 100 years ago, this was an upper-class suburb. However, when they built the Gardner Expressway and demolished the old Sunnyside amusement park, the neighborhood started to shift in demographic. And I think going into the 90s, it had a particularly rough reputation. One that's kind of slowly been turning around. It is almost quote-unquote cool again. There's a Filipino barbecue and bar. There's the Parkdale Hall. But the area has slowly been gentrifying, and you'll see more of that the further east I go. And it bleeds into West Queen West, right at Dufferin Street. That's where I plan to end this. I was thinking of maybe grabbing a bite, like lunch at Matt's Burger Lab maybe, and then recording another video. Coffee. I was thinking that would be a cafe. There's someone having a very animated conversation with himself coming this way. And I have still yet to try Gus Tacos, despite viewers saying a number of good things about them. They've got locations popping up all over. And there'll be a number of Tibetan restaurants coming up, as the area also shares the Little Tibet moniker. It's like a hipster donut shop is going in. That vintage clothing shop didn't make it. It's a lot like dive bars and that sort of thing. But in the 1950s, Tibet was invaded by China, which was previously independent. And that caused a flood of migrants abroad, and many landed in this area. West End Comics. In fact, the local school here has roughly a 40% Tibetan Canadian population. That 501 will be going as far as the Humber. It didn't even used to go that far. They recently extended it. That still doesn't go to Long Branch. It's a neat looking cafe. We're gonna start seeing some more Momo restaurants. Taste of the Himalayas. It's a Filipino store. Bati Bat. It says theater written in the window. There's a Tibetan restaurant. I usually go to one called Loga's Corner, which is just around the corner from here. There's the Himalayan kitchen. I almost said ketchup. Let's look at some of the menu items. Himalayan momos.
The guy was really cool. It was a good conversation.
A scapegoat. Nepali. Kitchen there. Here's the Momo Cafe. I think this used to be a banh mi restaurant. $8.99. Student. Looks like that used to be $6.99. They just Sharpied it over. This has got to have one of the highest concentration of Momo restaurants anywhere in the world outside of Tibet. There's Yummy Momo. And this is Jameson Avenue. That's where that school, where the student body is roughly 40% Tibetan, is just south of here. Oh, Logan's Corner, did they relocate? That's interesting. It used to be right around the corner up here on the right. I'll have to take a peek. They're in kind of an old house that had a bit of a eating in the living room feel to it. Kong Rig Katrin. And this is Lansdowne Avenue. You could turn left here and head all the way up to Lansdowne Station at Bloor. It's not that far of a walk, actually.
Yeah, like maybe like
I'm curious if this location is still open. Takeout Momo and Tibetan Cafe. So I wonder what the relation is between the two. And just like that, I'm on the south side of Queen Street. Just look down Dunn Avenue. Maybe I'll cross back over. Shambhala Kitchen. Right next to a Popeyes, which a few locations have closed down recently throughout the city. They've been dropping like flies. There you can see the CN Tower way off in the distance. And the 1313 building, that's kind of an art gallery space. I think it's run as a non-profit art center. And a nice old building that dates back to 1931.
I'm like, yeah.
the village of Parkdale. Be at Dufferin Street in a few blocks.
You can say hi if you want.
Hi, Up Express train just rolled by and we missed it. It'll be stopping at Dundas West Station, just in the north.
You're like,
I walked away. Whenever we first figured out where we were going to go, but great. It's expensive. It is. And then it's only cookies. Do you really want cookies?
I want like
Baked cookies. I feel like you need a cross that has like fruit and pastry. No fruit.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Tilt has a new location. I was unaware of this. They originally were up in the annex, and they had a dispute with the landlord who evicted them, but didn't give them the opportunity to purchase the building they're located in, which was part of their lease, actually. Then they moved to Dundas Street West and suffered a fire. They opened up another location called Z80 on the Danforth. It's basically, can't really get a look into it, but a vintage arcade bar, $10 to get in, unlimited play on over 90 classic games. It's really great to see them reopen. Apparently they lost a lot of really good machines. Speaking of really good, there's the Rhino on the right. Sunday special, 2 chicken shawarma, €2. I just want to eat for one.
The restaurant was way gone. I tell them that in 5 days.
The rustic Cosmo Cafe. So this is where Parkdale comes to an end. There's also a retail stretch along King Street, which runs parallel to this, just south of here. But it's nowhere near as vibrant or as interesting as the Queen Street West stretch. And we just did 2 neighborhoods, and this is going to kind of be part 1 of 2. I want to do another video. From here, that'll take me down to Exhibition Station. Lab deal of the day. Sunday, 2 chicken burgers. Come on, you don't have a deal for 1 on Sunday? I guess it's not meant to be. But either way, I might find somewhere for lunch. I might even just go to Matt's Burger Lab. You don't always have to need a deal. But I hope you enjoyed this one through Roncy and Parkdale. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. I'm here at Dufferin Street. West Queen West just starts on the other side, but I did a walkthrough there not too long ago, so you can find that on the channel. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button up here below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Yoink. Vroom vroom, hybrid electric bus. Bye.